I don't have. What come I can't? Oh, that's why. That's on the other channel. Okay, let's see what he's got. So I always start with this dude because he's one of the better ones. Hasn't oh god, hasn't not done any videos. Let's see about lives. Probably recently. Yeah. Or what the hell? That's interesting. Why is he making it all members? That is such a bad bad look. That is a bad look, guys. You never make it more members. That will kill your channel. I mean, there's a way to do things, there's a wrong way to do things. This is not the right way. You don't make all your lives members only. People will lose interest, but it never used to be, so there must be a reason for it. Anyway, let's get out of here then. Can't really use him at the moment. Big G Man's the next one. I think it was called Man. I got him already. Okay. Up at my usual one I usually watch. Anything from him. None of the others usually. There we go. Don't really watch all the others. Are pretty much straightforward. Okay. So what's this? Australia banned free speech. Oh god, yeah, this stuff. This is embarrassing. Oh, I guess we'll watch it, guys. Not really much more to watch after this, I guess. Let's go.
I don't apologise for the fact that we don't have the same free speech laws that they have in the United States. I recognise, and I fully said from the beginning, that we don't have the same freedom of speech laws that they have in the United States.
Of course not. It's in their constitution.
And have people live in peace. Well, look, freedom of speech reigns here. People can say what they want. That's not the case in New South Wales. We don't have the same freedom.
Or Victoria. Or Queensland.
The reason is because we love the country that we've got here, and we're going to take steps to protect what's been built up over decades.
After the Bondi shooting, this Islamic terror attack shattered, destroyed the very feeling of safety and calm in Australia. It will never be the same. No longer
I know.
are we the lucky country, what we've been known as for the longest time. I know so many people that would say they would never go to America, there's too many guns. Well, I tell you what, how does that feel now? That's our country. And the Australian government, well, they have responded in the most hilarious way ever. They decided, you know what, we're going to punish these Islamic terrorists, just these absolute, I can't say the R word yet, but these R words, who have bought in so deeply to the bowels of their religion. They're just ridiculous human beings.
All right, I'm going to finish up soon, I think.
Instead of
getting
punishing
hungry.
them, they decided to punish everybody else. That's what they've decided to do. They've decided that law-abiding citizens are the ones that they need to attack here. And they're doing that by removing the very little amount of freedom of speech that we have in this country. There wasn't much left, but now it is gone. And every time I make a video that has anything to do with Australia and freedom of speech, I always get some dickhead in the comment section who says, oh no, well, Australia doesn't have freedom of speech, Isaac. It's not in the Constitution. That's my fucking point, dickhead. That is my point. Why is it not there? Why does no politician have the balls to try and have it instilled in the Constitution? We need to be protected as individuals and be able to use our speech freely, because without it, we are nothing. We are little ants in the colony. That's it. And I made a mistake.
Yeah, I do agree.
I've said in the Australian Constitution it is implied, but what it really says is Australia has an implied freedom of political communication. So if you get accused of hate speech, that's not protected at all. You get accused of misinformation, that's not protected at all. Nor is
goodness gracious,
right? Nor is non-political speech. We have laws in this country that if you offend someone, you can either be fined or go to jail. We're fucking turning into England, and that makes me sick. People are going to be arrested at their home.
All right, that's getting bad. That's really bad.
People in the next 2 years will be arrested because of offensive things that they've said online. Then people who may or may not be involved in the old terrorist activities. That's my bet for the next 2 years. I can't wait to see if it's true. The safety of the words we speak and the safety of the public in public spaces is shattered, gone in this country. It is absolutely destroyed. It will never return. Straight after the Bondi
I believe that.
was a crazy dude and his insane father who believed that ISIS was great and all this type of stuff, the Islamic State, all that fucking bullshit, right? That's what they believed, and I don't know how that's happened, but whatever, that's happened. They went out of their way to attack all these other people. Even the National Socialist Network, or whatever it's called here in Australia, the Nazis, they went after them. They didn't shoot up the joint, don't get me wrong. Bunch of dickheads, bunch of wankers, fucking just dipshits. But why don't you focus all your attention on the ISIS flag? How is that not the most obvious thing ever? And ladies and gentlemen, if you're angry like me, if you're pissed off, then take an hour out of your day to watch my brand new special, Public Enemy, which is on YouTube right now. Ladies and gentlemen, click on this video. Go and watch it. It is my finest work to date. I'm actually very, very proud of it. So go and check it out. It was filmed at the State Theatre. Awesome crowd. It's great. There's some horrible shit in there, so go and check it out before I get arrested for all kinds of hate speech, all that type of shit. Go and check it out immediately. Anyway, this is the Prime Minister straight after the Bondi attack. His Christmas message, if you will.
The National Security Committee has agreed that changes will include the following 5 points. 1. Aggravate aggravated hate speech offence for preachers and leaders who promote violence. Secondly, increased penalties for hate speech promoting violence. Thirdly, making hate an aggravating factor in sentencing crimes for online threats and harassment. Fourthly, developing a regime for listing organisations whose leaders engage in hate speech promoting violence or racial hatred. And fifthly, developing a narrow federal offence for serious vilification based on race and or advocating racial supremacy.
Now, some of that sounds fine. It sounds nice, right? You want to protect people. You want to look after people.
Yeah,
I
it
get
does.
Here's the thing
Some
right
of it
now,
does.
The Jewish community in Australia is hurting. Well, let's protect them. Let's change laws to protect them. But the problem with that knee-jerk reaction is you're going to affect everyone forever. And now these laws are in place. And you know what? We're probably pretty safe under old Albo, our Prime Minister now. He's not going to do anything. Heaps sus, heaps ridiculous and shut us down. But what happens in 20 years' time when these laws are still here? What if a politician loses the fucking plot, right? What happens then? What happens if our Prime Minister in 2050 is a fucking psycho and decides to shut us down absolutely everywhere? What we're seeing now is the introduction to our own fucking final
Just the
destination.
beginning, huh?
That should terrify us all.
That's what I
guess the
think it
important
sounds
thing,
like.
What Albo said in that clip was the word hate. Because what defines hate? Well, I can tell you, right? Because I've been accused of hate speech.
I
Anytime
know you
there's
have.
any
I
comment
remember watching
may or may
that.
not be a joke or may not be negative about someone who doesn't look like me, a straight white male, that is constituted as hate. That is consistent with laws that try and outlaw hate speech. Okay? If you make anything or make any comment about those type of people, you have committed a hate crime, basically. And you may think that, you know what, I might use a VPN. I might hide myself online because I have outrageous opinions on X, Y, or Z, right? And you should be able to have outrageous opinions on things as long as you don't call for violence. That's the only thing you can't do, right? You should be able to say whatever you want as long as you don't call for violence, as long as you're not a piece of shit, all right? As long as you don't want to see people get hurt, then that's fine. But
Of
you know,
course.
the Victorian Premier, the governor down there, she's going to come after you and she's going to find you.
Under Victoria's civil anti-vilification scheme, which starts in 2026,
That's creepy.
the speaker of a vilifying statement generally needs to be identifiable to be held to be held accountable. We recognise that this could protect cowards who hide behind anonymous profiles to spread hate and stoke fear. That's why
Why
Victoria
can't I
is
hear about the
holding
right ear?
social media companies and anonymous users to account, and will appoint a respected jurist to unlock.
Yeah, she's pretty bad, this
There's
one.
no anonymity online. Hate speech has been outlawed. And what fucking defines hate speech? Everything that you say is being monitored. Digital IDs. Now you're being watched everywhere. Jesus Christ, this is sus. This is not good. And Bondi Beach may or may not have been the tipping point for all of these laws to be enacted. It seems like it. It seems like a knee-jerk reaction. But actually, a lot of this stuff, and a lot of people would probably be saying in the comment section, oh, this happened overnight. Overnight, the government's done this. No. This has been happening for decades, 3 decades.
It's just slowly
Since
happening.
1995, when the Racial Discrimination Act came into play.
It started
and that
slowly,
outlawed
guys,
any sort
bit
of
by bit.
offence that has been caused to people who may or may not be a different race to you. In Section 18C, it says that it's illegal, unlawful to offend, insult, humiliate, or intimidate. Hey, it's not okay to intimidate, but offend.
I mean, here's the thing. Some of that's true. You should be able to say what you want, but you got to be more careful how you say it. That's how I say it, in a way. I mean, insulting people, yeah, okay, maybe. Maybe a bit too far. Intimidating, definitely, yeah, too far. You should be able to say what you want, though, without worrying about getting arrested and all that, unless it's being really, really out there.
Insult and humiliate, that's illegal. That sounds fucking ridiculous. From there, in that exact same bill, there was an amendment that was made in the 2010s, okay, which included sex, gender, all of those fucking things, disability, religion, political belief. That's phase 2 of this process. Phase 3, they introduced the Australian Human Rights Commission, where anyone can make a complaint
As
about
I said, bit by bit.
company. There's no cost to that complainant, and the respondent must lawyer up and have to pay all the costs associated with that. I saw that after my run-in with the Queensland Human Rights Commission in 2023, after I told an Aboriginal joke on stage, which was a joke and is not real. Phase 4 then comes in, where they introduce
it's only a
the safety
joke.
commissioner who can order content to come down, and then fine Elon Musk $400 billion a day if he doesn't take a fucking video down. And with all of these, there is a moment where something horrible happens, and you know, with 9/11, the same thing happened in America, right? The Christchurch attack in New Zealand. The Australian government saw that as a horrible thing, and the result from that was faster takedowns implemented into law. After COVID, misinformation frameworks were put into place to control that. After other terror attacks, other shootings, hate speech expansions, online abuse scandals, things that happened online. Well, you know, there needs to be more laws about this, that, or the other. Then there's this other group, this network, who petitions to have under 16s banned, and all of a sudden under 16s are banned, and they're banned across social media. No 16-year-old can have social media unless they have a digital. Well, they have to get a digital ID after the age of 16 so they can access the internet, and then we all have to get it. But anyway, that's just my idea of what may or may not happen. But they can have access to the social network site Blue Sky, which is a leftist organisation, and it's full of fucking woke idiots, which Joe Rogan just found out about.
They created a ban in Australia on social media for kids under 16, that this ban includes Instagram and TikTok, but does not include Blue Sky. If that's true, that is crazy. Until 16 years old, the only way you get to communicate is the most radically leftist site available.
Yeah,
So
I'm on Blue
which is
Sky
just
myself, but I don't really
but
use it.
for super hardcore lefties is not included in the ban.
Yeah, that's fucked, Joe. Welcome to Australia, dude. And all of those
That's our
changes have
country.
got us to what we see as an overnight change. You see, it hasn't happened overnight. It's been decades of change. 30
Yeah,
years
it's slowly.
of change that slowly has eroded our very limited protections to freedom of speech. And it puts us in this position right now, where some of you who are watching this video in the next decade will be arrested for things that you say online that you could have said easily without any worry 2 or 3 days ago. maybe last week, let's say. What if something happens? Horrible happens in a year or two. It's bound to, based on probability, it's going to happen again. And then we don't like the government's reaction. Maybe they put a new law in place, or something else happens. There's an illness, right? And we don't like that. Well, the New South Wales government have got a fix for stopping the regular, everyday Australian from doing anything about that. They've imposed new laws that if a terrorist event or a tragedy event has occurred, then they can ban any protest from happening for 14 days. And then on top of that, they can extend that by another 14 days for up to 3 months afterwards.
Oh, God.
So if you don't like what the government's done, you can't talk about it online because it'll be misinformation or hate speech. You can't protest about it for up to 14 days. What do we do? And once again, like, I don't think that like Albo and shit and all these fucking guys are sitting in their offices going, well, how can we fuck up all the people? I just think this is a massive, this is suicidal empathy is what it is.
Yeah.
All this empathetic
going
actions,
overboard.
all these things where they try and do the most outlandish shit.
Sorry,
possible,
guys,
try
I'm
and protect
worried
people.
out. I'm about.
And what they don't see,
I need to have dinner.
Foresight to see, is that how other people may bend these rules, these laws in the future, long after they're gone, long after I'm gone, whatever. These will be laws that will be around forever, and they're going to affect your kids, your grandkids, every Australian to be born from here on out. That's not a good thing. That is a terrible thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is straight out of Orwell's mind. This is crazy. And this is what happens when people are involved in politics for their entire life and never allowed to think for themselves. That's a big point here. These people aren't allowed to think for themselves. They're towing the party line. Like, there was other things that came from all of this, and I've spoken about them at length in other videos that I've made about this subject. Be it the gun laws in Australia, like they're trying to stop farmers from owning extra rifles. Like, what the fuck is that going to do? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the father and son who committed this horrible attack, they had...
They're the ones who really made this happen, though. To be honest.
Well, if a farmer's got 6 firearms, that doesn't mean he's going to shoot up a fucking beach. Obviously. Maybe focus your efforts on finding the people who are likely to commit these horrible events and stopping them from doing that. Because I tell you
True.
what,
I mean, sorry guys, I'm tired.
Then you better take their fucking car off them as well, because they're just as likely to run down a group of Jews as they are going to shoot them at the beach. The problem with hate speech laws, and this is the last thing I'll say, the problem is what hate is defined as. If you say anything negative or question anything about Islam, Muslims, the Quran, anything like that, that is seen as Islamophobic. But if you do it about the Bible and Christians, it's fine. If you question anything about Jewish people, Israel, anything like that, that's seen as anti-Semitic. That's not okay. You should be able to question things. You should be able to have beliefs. As long as you don't call for violence, as long as you don't actually have hate in your heart, then that's fine. If you question someone who's not white or who's not a straight male, that is defined as hateful speech, a hateful way of thinking. This is just a slippery slope, ladies and gentlemen, and it's too late to turn around. We're going down it. Let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East.
All right, you get the idea, guys. So this is how Australia's going at the moment. Australia's kind of cooked. Yeah, that's why I don't do much Australia stuff at the moment, because I just don't want to hear it. Anyway, I'm going to finish up, guys. Oh, it's only a short one today because I'm actually tired and I want to eat and do some cleaning. I haven't done anything today, guys. We had that movie earlier today. On that note, guys, cheers.